It's going up. So I know this looks like a lot, and we just need to sort it so that we are showing how to solve these two-step equations. If you are writing this out, you'll be writing your inverse operations, and it might be fastest for you to just solve it on paper too. But I just wanted to look at a different way and have you really be lining up the way we solve it. So I'm just gonna kind of scooch some things out of the way here, and I'm gonna find one of the two-step equations to start with. I know it's two-step because I see something multiplied by the x and then it's subtracting something. So first, I'm going to add 1 to both sides. Again, it might help you to write this out, but I can do that in my head. So if I think plus 1 to both sides, that'll give me 9 equals 3x. So now I need to find that. And then I drag it together so it kind of highlights blue and make sure that it shows up in the right order. And now I need to find the one that gives me the answer for this. And so I'm going to divide both sides by 3 since this is 3 times x. And I will get 3 equals x. And I make sure it goes to the right spot. So this is all the way to solve this equation. 8 equals 3x minus 1. I added 1 to both sides. Then I divided both sides by 3. So there's that one. Still missing most people. Come on over to DESMOS. All right, now I'm just gonna pick this one. So you can go along with me if you want, or you could be working on your own to organize things, or find whichever one you want to work on. So I'm going to subtract 31 from both sides. So I'll have 15x by itself, and that will equal 61 minus 31, which is 30. So I'm looking for 15x equals 30. Okay, now I'm going to divide both sides by 15. So x will be alone here. 30 divided by 15 will be 2. And now I have 3 cards in order here, so this one's done. Here's 4x plus 3 equals 11. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. So I'll have 4x alone here, and then 11 minus 3 will be 8. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 4. X will be 2. Here's another one. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. So x over 6 will be 11. Now I have x divided by 6 equals 11, so I need to multiply both sides by 6 to get x alone. Oh, sorry, Kyle. You can watch the recording later, and you can just do what you can do on your own since we're all just working on this now. It's not laggy for me. Okay, subtract 6 from both sides. Let's move this over. 42 minus 6 will be 36. And we'll have negative 2x alone. Now we divide both sides by negative 2. Kellen's cracking funnies in the chat. Yes, that is a pun, Kellen. You're correct. All right, I'm going to do this one next. Plus 2 plus 2. 17 equals x over 3 times 3 times 3, 17 times 3. Remember, you can use a calculator, you can use scratch paper. So since these are two-step, there's 3 equations for each to solve them. And we end up with x alone equaling something. All 3 of these equations for each set are equal to each other. We just did something to both sides of the equation to keep it equal. So here I'm going to subtract 4, and I'll still have negative x over 2 equals 6. If I can find it, negative x, there we go. And now there's this negative here. I can just stick this in the top or the bottom. I might as well stick it on the bottom, because if I divide this whole thing by negative 2, then I'll have x alone in one step. So I'm going to divide both sides, or sorry, multiply both sides. This is already dividing by negative 2. Multiply both sides by negative 2 to get x equals negative 12. I know it's a lot. Just hang in there. We're just getting used to what rewriting equations looks like. Do this one. So I'm going to subtract 3/10 from both sides. And I'll get 3x equals 3. Divide both sides by 3, x equals 1. So this one, I'm going to add half to both sides. So x over 8 will equal 6.5. Let's see how that looks. 13 halves is also 6.5. Now I multiply both sides by 8. And that can cross cancel with this 2. So that'll be 13 times 4. All right, I'd be writing this out, but I don't want to take up our time. But here we have 1/4 is equal to 3/12. So I'm going to subtract 3/12 from both sides and get 1/3 x equals 5/12 minus 3/12 is 2/12, which is, yep, didn't simplify it. So now 1/3 times x, to make this just x, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. So x will be alone, and then I'll have 3 times 2/12, which will be 6/12, or 1/2. All right, we just have 2 more to do, or I just have 2 more to do. You might have more than that. For this one, I'm going to add 1/7 to both sides, which is 2/14. So that'll be 5/14. 2/7 will equal 5/14. And then I'll multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which I am going to write out, which is 7/2. So I'll have 5/14 times 7/2. I cross cancel that and get 5/4. And last one, this looks like a 1-step, but it's a 2-step, because when we subtract 9 from both sides, we'll get negative x equals negative 22. Then we divide both sides, or multiply both sides by negative 1 to get x equals 22. So mine are all sorted and in order. So it might be easiest to just keep going on your own instead of just trying to copy all mine, but hopefully it helps you get in the habit of seeing the rewritten equation each step in order to solve it. Does anyone have questions on this? Okay, I'm gonna let you work on it a little bit more, but also tell you that I have office hours today, but not tomorrow or the next day. So if you need help in any of this stuff, please come see me today at 1:30. And also remind you to make sure to look at my feedback if you on your worksheets, if you didn't get full credit. You really need to show what we have here, rewriting the equation, each step with the equal sign. Then also the inverse operation, so +2 + 2, divide by 4, divide by 4, to both sides. You have to do the same thing to both sides. On the worksheets too, you have to, and on quizzes or anything, you have to do complete solution check for full credit. I'm going to keep giving you keys. Tomorrow I'm not giving you a new worksheet, so you have time to go back and fix old ones or do old ones if you need to. And the keys are there to help you. If you're Googling how to do this, like how to solve equations online, it's just not the best because they might do it slightly different. And a lot of times that stuff is more geared toward high schoolers, so it might confuse you. I want you to do it my way, so you might as well just use my key. I give you most of the answers for your homework for the worksheets, so you might as well just copy my answers if you're going to copy something. And the point of the copying is to just get used to it so that you don't need to copy eventually, that you're kind of paying attention a little bit to what you're doing, or maybe a lot, so that it makes more and more sense and you get more used to how it needs to look and what you need to do. And then you can do it on your own. It's just kind of training wheels to help you show all your work correctly.